time for the spinner.
All right. Sandy, count us down.
Oh,
We're going to pick
3,
out our subject tonight.
2, 1, go.
I love that. Good job, Sandy.
Planting your garden.
I wanted this one.
I wanted it too.
Good.
I will tell you, I was kind of looking forward to that, even though I wouldn't have mind having it somebody else's choice. But planting garden, I'm excited. I think while we're planning, Sandy, who else would need to start off this topic but
That's
from the
true.
garden girl herself? So Sandy, start us off. We're planning our garden now because we really are in kind of garden planning stages right now.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
too.
I put stuff in the ground every couple days.
Yeah. I said this a million times. Your best friend is graph paper and a pencil. Right?
Okay.
Because you got to know what size space you're going to use.
Yep.
You got to know if it's just a patio and you're putting everything in pots. If it's a little area or you have an already established garden. What's the size of it? Take your tape measure out there and then for a couple days, watch where the sun goes. Is there trees that are going to shade part of it during the day? Is your house going to shade it? So you got to plan these things beforehand because you want to be successful. You don't want to have wasted your money on seeds or plants. And where's your water source? Do you got to drag hoses all over the place or is it pretty close to your house?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, there are things that you have to think about. But you know me, I'm a planner. This is my community garden plot. I got my hoops, I got everything. Because graph paper and a pencil is your friend.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
And-
goodness, that's so cool.
If you know the space, the amount of feet, each square of graph paper can be a foot or one square can be 2 feet, or it just depends on how big a garden space you have.
Right.
And for me, I always write every single vegetable that I want to grow in the garden that year. Do I have to buy it? Do I have seeds for it? Can I grow it? What am I going to do? And so for me, it just helps me.
Yeah.
What about you, Ann? What do you like to do when you're starting your garden?
Mine's all in my head, unfortunately, because my head is really full and things are spilling out of it these days. But
Coming out of your ears.
we're quite blessed in North Carolina. Usually, by the time you can start seeds inside, except for peppers, you can really put them in the ground. You can really just put
awesome.
them right in the ground here. And so, we haven't started yet because our calendar has been full, but we do have several raised beds that are off the ground. And I think that's probably what we're going to do mostly this year is raised bed gardening.
Cool.
And I have some more raised beds that are going to be coming. And that way it's not bending over as much. It's not as difficult. Don't have to, well, y'all don't till. I mean, Cayce and I are the only tillers up here on the panel, but we don't have to worry about weed cloth and all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what we're going to do. I have my seeds lined up. I mean,
Oh, good.
they're just still in the package. And, so you got to, in order to have something from them, you actually have to do something with them. And I haven't quite done that part yet.
You got lots of time, though.
Yeah. And, it's just March and tomorrow's the first day of April. So not only is it April Fool's Day, but it's in North Carolina. That's like time to plant, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm probably behind a lot of people. And what I normally do for peppers, if I haven't started them in January or February underneath a grow light inside, then I go to our local little greenhouse that we have in Edenton. They sell starts that are like this tall. Let's see if I can get it about this tall for 10 cents a piece.
Wow.
I can't.
I
grow
wanna
them
go
for
there.
10 cents a piece. So you can get
Yeah.
as much as you want of anything that you want. And so
Wow.
I'm not really behind, y'all. I just have to go spend $1. So how about you, Casey? You're getting ready to move. So you're going to start again, my darling. Look at his eyeballs.
I am. I am. And I'll tell you, if you're rewatching this on the replay, I may insert something funny here because, as Ann said, when we did an episode, I think with Sandi, 3 or 4 seasons ago, me and Ann were like, in ground, we till, that's how we do it.
We'd bury
I
it.
have been converted. I am doing raised bed. It's just easier. I did it this past year. I find it easier. And like Sandi, I looked at my raised bed that I was going to do. I'm figuring out how much space I have, but also I am growing what I'm eating. I am not
Yep.
trying to be super fancy and crazy and put in, Chinese, Japanese, purple length, whatever. I know I like peppers. I like tomatoes. I like green beans. And we're going to stick to that because I don't want to bulk up or use up garden space, which is gold,
Yeah.
on something that I
Right.
may like, may not.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done. I've mapped it out, and I've even gotten, I'm doing fruit bushes and fruit trees in containers at the new one. And we're starting from scratch. And I personally never plant until May 1st. Most of my garden friends were like, no, after Easter. You should always do after Easter. That's what you should do. Plant after Easter. But Georgia is crazy. It could be 80 degrees on Easter. It could be 40 degrees on Easter.
Right.
I know in May, it's pretty sure it's going to be nice summer weather. So that's what I do. And I'm doing raised beds this year. So I'm joining the raised bed group because, Monica, you're kind of raised beds. You're hilly raised, right?
I've got 2 raised beds. I'm starting to use them more this year. I have to. My body is forcing me to use more of a raised bed.
Yeah.
So I am starting to do more raised gardening, more vertical gardening. So I've got a lot of like T-posts, and I have a lot of things that I want to vine. So I'm growing, I grow more probably indeterminate tomatoes because I'm fine with them just vining up and going north, because I can just keep control of them and they're easier to pick when they're higher. And so we do that. So yeah, I'm kind of like Ann and Sandi mixed because I do have like a notebook. I was looking for it a minute ago. It's not in here, but I have like a little notebook I've used for the last 8 years, and I flip to a brand new page and I draw out a picture. I don't use it square by square, but I have an idea of what my space is. And then I draw a cute little, my favorite raised bed is a sleep number bed. But I draw little, X's for the one row of beans. And then I draw little circles for my cabbage or whatever I do. And then I label them. And then I go to my garden and I put everything in the ground, something else different than what I had originally planned. And then I'm out there erasing everything. And then I'm replanting. But I do have a plan. It's a plan that's always in pencil, because when I'm out there and I'm looking at things, I'm realizing, no, I like that space better for that. Or I planted here last time. Let me erase it and move this here, because I am a rotator of my garden space. I won't plant the same thing in the same space that I planted it last year. I always move. And because I do grow beans every few years, this is going to be a back-to-back bean year for me. I want to grow beans again because I'm trying the pole beans this year. I'm planting them in a different area so that it can help with the soil as well. So I'm really playing with my soil, with my, Eric is a tiller. He's a hands down tills everything, wants to till. I'm trying to stay no-till as much as I can, but I mean, I got to do what I got to do. And so I am going to be tilling some areas and using raised beds for others. But we really, right now, I went to my local feed store that my boys work at, and they had plant sets, a 6-pack of tomatoes, peppers, all the things. And the tomatoes are like this big already. Miss Ann, they're huge. Like a 6-pack for $3.50.
Oh, that's good.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't mind spending $80. I mean, Eric's not listening. It's fine. But I have been there like 3 times.
Yeah.
But I have kind of just said, I'm not doing my own seeds this year. I don't have the brain power or the energy right now. I have too many things on my plate. I am growing babies right here. These right here. I have 3 incubators full of eggs. They're going to hatch out in 2 weeks. So for me, my garden planning is planning to go to the store, buy and put them in the ground strategically. And
Hey, the greenhouse thing, I mean, God,
yeah.
I can't
Ain't
do
no
it.
shame in that game.
But
It's
but
wonderful.
that's what I need for myself right now. This season of life that I'm in requires me to take care of my body and my brain and my energy to go purchase it, support a small business, a local business, buy it there, grow it in my own space, and go for there because I have other things on my plate and I just don't have the energy for it. Now, I do companion plant. You guys all companion plant?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite companion pair, Sandy?
Well, before we switch to the companion pair, if you don't mind, when you were talking about taking care of yourself and noticing things, it's just about time for Anne's angle because
Ooh.
I think that fits right in
Okay.
with Anne's angle of looking at things that are around you. Something to think about. So, Monica, you were talking about companion planting.
Yeah, it's
And
important. So what do you all do? I asked Sandy, what's your favorite companion pair? Jesse says his is bacon and eggs, but that is not what we're talking about.
Yes,
We're talking about
they
plants.
Well, there's a few things. I love growing carrots in between my garlic.
Okay.
When you think of companions, you want to know the root system.
Okay.
And so those carrots are long. The garlic, it's got that bulb and it's just a little bit of roots around, 3-4 inches spreading out. And so it's an easy one to do.
Okay.
I like growing lettuce, radish, carrots together because the lettuce and the radishes come up fast and it kind of shades the carrots and then they're done and the carrots are up. I like that. And always basil around tomatoes. Sometimes it's companions are things that go together,
right.
oh,
so
Where's
when
my
they're
basil
good to
around?
eat together.
I haven't planted my basil around the tomatoes.
Oh, it's really good for it.
I
Both
always
of them
do.
like each
I was
other.
about to say I do because I remember Sandy talking about
Yeah.
like having that caprese salad in your garden. You got
Yeah.
your tomatoes, you got your basil, and
I do
you got
oregano
those-
by my tomatoes too, because
Yeah.
I always think of tomato sauce. I always think of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do
Yeah.
that this time because I have a brand new pallet, empty pallet that we can start
There
anything we
you go.
want.
And I
What
also
about you,
tried with
Cayce?
Sandy, talked about garlic and lettuce together.
Yeah.
And I did that because when you put lettuce in, you put them close together, but you feel sometimes it could be a waste of space in between. And well, as most of y'all know, and most of y'all have commented on the video, I pulled my onion and garlic up a little too early. But we're gonna put it back in.
Yeah.
I got a Sandy suggestion off camera. I got a free Sandy suggestion, and she said to put it back in the dirt. Just put it in the dirt.
Really?
Leave the dirt there and put
Oh,
it
yeah.
back in.
She
Yeah.
did. I mean,
So
look,
yeah,
we're gonna do that.
his garlic and onions are been out for 3 days on the counter.
It'll
and
be
she
fine.
said,
No,
"Put
that
'em in
on the
the
raised
dirt,
beds. Mhm.
like in a bucket
Yeah.
and carry them to your new house and put them in the
That's
raised bed.
amazing.
They'll
Yeah.
be fine."
Moist but not soggy soil.
Yeah, I am so excited about that because now let me tell you, the roots looked good. When I was pulling it out and I'm shooting the video and I'm like, well, gosh darn it. This is one of those wah, wah, wah videos. And I'm like, it looks so good. Everything looks so good. And
It
to know
did.
that the roots aren't bad yet, even though they've been out for 3 days, that we're going to just put them right back in. I'm going to pull up my raised bed and that pile of dirt that's sitting there that will be at mom's house, they're going to sit there until July. They're going to go back into that little mountain of dirt. And hopefully I will still get the 45 garlic and 32 onions that were
That'd be so
planted
cool.
in there. I know.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to see if they grow. Really, I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be wonderful.
Well, those two items, think about it. When you pull garlic out, that root gets all dried. That basil root is all dry, and you can still break those clothes off and plant them.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's still alive.
Yeah.
If you grew an onion, you pull it out and you still got that little part, you can grow another onion and get seeds from it. So even though they've dried, it will work.
That's cool.
And so now, not everything would work. A tomato out 3 days would not work, but your garlic and onions would.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And see, that's a way to plan, as we're talking about planning your garden. If you have to move, because that was my big thing. I was like, I have to move. I'm just gonna have to let all of those just go to waste. And Sandy's like, no, you don't. No, you can move that raised bed and just put them back in the dirt. When you're planning, plan for all different type of situations.
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I did. And plan what you got. I also like to plan in raised beds. I tried to look for my notebook too, Monica, and I'm like, it's in a box somewhere.
Yeah, mine's like over here somewhere. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go for it right now.
Don't even know. But I do like, let's say raised bed A. We're going to talk about raised bed A. What I'm putting in it, and I like to know, okay, when do you put it in and when do you harvest and pull it out?
Yeah.
Because then I'm going to find something that you put in that same time. So my raised beds are constantly cycling food.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have a huge space to do raised bed gardening,
Right.
or to grow an amount of food that you can eat. So
That's
planning.
And think vertical too. On a side of your raised bed. Now you don't want it, you want to make sure that it's not going to block the afternoon sun. So you got to have it oriented to your sun. But just think, you got all that stuff in that raised bed. Now you got something vertical, and how much more can you grow?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not just cucumbers. You can grow pumpkins and cantaloupes and honeydews and baby watermelons, cucumbers, all of that trellis, squash. And if the squashes and pumpkins get too big, just make little hammocks for them and hook them onto the vertical.
We did that with our spaghetti squash this past year. We put it on a trellis, but I would just tie the squash up when it got too big.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Glad to know. And Lisa, Mrs. Lazy Days Ahead, that is in here, has not been a gardener for an incredibly long time that I know of, but that woman is knocking it out of the park.
She got that green thumb.
She is rocking it, and I'm so proud of her. Hey, Lynette, that's Lynette Lawrence, Auntie's World. Yes, I put onion roots in the ground. I have one that sprouted. It's getting ready to bloom. Seeds
That's
are
cool.
going to be here soon.
That is so cool.
That's
Because
so
I,
wonderful.
I've never been able to grow garlic and onion. I think me and Monica have talked about that.
Yep.
Listen, me and Monica are pretty amazing at a lot of things.
Yes,
But onions and garlic ain't been one of them.
well, you can't be talented at everything. Come on.
But see, my thing is like, Cayce, you need to figure it out, because onions and garlic is that one staple in the garden that goes with everything.
Yeah.
We're talking medicinally.
Yeah.
We're talking about your food. You just need it. So I gotta figure it out pretty much.
Every time my dad tells me, oh, I really love onions, I'm like, I know, Dad, I'm trying. It's like the one thing I can't grow. Okay.
That's right, Auntie Jan.
You could use a lot of things to help with that.
Yes.
Fermented tomatoes, basil, onion. Okay. Yeah,
Monica, do you have to start your onions way early? In the
I don't know.
February, March?
I don't know. I still don't know. I was relying on Carmen, and I'm going to be honest. She put it on her Facebook, and I saw it like 4 days late, and I was like, oh, shoot, I'm late. I don't have my tomato. I don't have my onions or whatever. I can't do it. And I got discouraged, and I just gave up. So I don't know.
I usually have to put onions and garlic in the ground in like
October.
November.
I feel like it's October or November. And then I feel like you can do it again sometime in the like semi-winter months, like January-ish, maybe February. I don't know. I always get it confused. I was supposed to put my potatoes in the ground too, and I failed.
Yeah, I haven't.
I have a bag of sprouting potatoes in my living room.
Plant them. Just plant them.
I am. I'm going to plant
Yeah.
because Eric doesn't know that they're still there. He thinks it's just a bag of something. He doesn't know it's potatoes seed things, like the potato starts. So I'm going to cut those bad boys, sit them out for a minute, and I'm going to plant them jokers right in there. Just put everything in the ground.
There you
Okay,
go.
here's what you can do since you didn't plant your onions. I want you to go to the store, and in the vegetable aisle, they'll have green bunching onions. Your little bundle. Sometimes they're 2 for $1.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to take them home. You're going to cut them so that there's the root and probably about 1.5 inches.
Okay.
Use the green tops, cook something with it.
Okay.
Then you're going to plant those in the ground. And in a couple months, 2.5 months, you will have great big, huge, tall onions that look like leeks. And they are so amazingly mild and wonderful to cook with.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Yeah.
can
Well,
do
there
that.
you go.
I can do that.
There's always
Well-
there's always a moment of amazement on all three of
Okay.
our faces when Sandy says.
I
that.
mean,
We're just-
I guess the thing is like I there's always a room to try because I've tried. Like I've tried to put stuff in and then it dries up. Like I'm doing strawberries.
Mhm.
I've got like a dozen strawberry plants out there. A dozen. And they're all still the same size as when I got them 3 weeks ago. I'm like, what's up?
yeah.
What's up?
Okay, strawberries. If you plant them too deep or too tall, they won't grow well and you won't get your strawberries. So when you look at the strawberry plant, think of a woman, right? So you got all these roots coming out, and then all of a sudden it's a little wider, and then it goes narrow, and then it goes wider again. That waste, that like your waste,
Yeah.
that's the soil level. And that
Okay.
will make your strawberries grow.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to go look at them.
I
Yeah.
think I planted mine chest high instead
Yeah,
of waist.
you look for that. It just curves in just a little bit. And that's
Yeah,
what you
okay.
want to plant.
I'm gonna
I
go
got-
out there and look at all my strawberries later and be like, let me see your waist.
I think I
Show
got.
me your waist.
I think I got
Show
the
me your
ribs.
waist.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're going to plant your tomatoes, okay, doesn't matter if they're already 1.5 foot or they're 8
Yep.
inches tall. You're going to break off a bunch of those side leaves, right? Because the roots will come out,
Mhm.
and you want to think of it as planting your tomatoes at your ears.
Yes.
So really, all there is just a couple leaves on top, even if you have to bend that tomato and have it come up a little bit.
I
Okay.
did that.
And you will
Yes.
get so many tomatoes.
Oh,
I did that yesterday. I was out there with my niece and my son, and my niece was like, "What are you doing?" She's almost 3, and I said, "I'm pruning this, if you will." And she said, "Prune?" I said, "Yeah, I'm picking off the extra little leaves at the bottom, and we're gonna bury it super deep." And so she had a little shovel, and she was digging really deep for me, and we buried it, so it was like this big.
Yeah,
Like
that's
was
what
all
you
we
want.
got.
Yeah.
And she was like, my sister was like, "That's a lot," and I was like, "Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All the little
Plant it to
fuzzy
their
things are gonna be
ears.
good."
And the tomatoes, I'll tell you, is probably one of the most God amazing plants on the
Yeah.
face of the earth.
it is.
Because when I was planning, because I'm weird about my planning too, Sandy, is I plan how many jars I need by how many
Right.
plants. Because you get about 8 quart jars of tomatoes per one
Right.
tomato plant. If it's a healthy plant.
Yeah.
Because also when you have the suckers and you break that sucker off, put a little bit of water. Now you're not going to get that amount of tomatoes you got from the main one, but I still was getting little tomatoes off the sucker when I planted that into the ground.
That's
So
awesome.
you're getting the tomatoes, you're planting it deep and getting about 8 quarts of tomatoes from the main one. You're getting some sucker plants, plus you're getting a gajillion seeds in one tomato
Yeah.
that you get to save for eternity.
That's awesome. And speaking of seeds, I think Sandy has a little suggestion that we
I-
need.
Oh.
See, Ann, you're just
She's
reading
good.
my
keeping it going.
mind. She
love
got it tonight. She's got it